Seahawks, a great doubleheader, starts with the Vikings taking on Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Then Drew Brees leads the Saints against Nick Foles and the Bears, or other regional action. It all kicks off at 1 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Raiders-Browns is fascinating to me, Joy. So the Raiders had that COVID issue with their offensive line.
Right.
So we don't know what they went through last week. We saw them beat Kansas City. So we know they're talented. Cleveland, everybody talks about what an impressive win it was, but they needed to come from behind multiple times to beat Cincinnati. Now the Odell Beckham situation. So the question becomes, this to me feels like this is a fascinating game. Like the Raiders here, I think we've undervalued them because of last week, Tampa, the COVID stuff. We don't know what they were going through internally. We're over-evaluating Cleveland, a team that 2 weeks ago could not compete against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they're two teams we really don't know what they are.
I like the Raiders getting a field goal here. This is a game right now. They're feeling themselves in Cleveland. They beat Cincinnati. They struggled to beat the Bengals. If I told you there's a team in the NFL, they needed great play in the fourth to beat Cincinnati. The week before, they were humiliated by Pittsburgh. Does that sound like a great team? That's Cleveland. And
That's
now
true.
you got a Raiders team that the COVID situation, we just think now they're bad. They beat Kansas City a couple weeks ago.
Is this in the Blazing Five?
Yeah, I think the Raiders, it's a very interesting week. I always look in the Blazing Five. Who are we undervaluing today?
Right.
Like right now, we're overvaluing the Niners because they look like the world's best football team against the Rams and New England. But they were much more desperate against the Rams, and New England's a mess.
And they have a lot more injuries
And
now.
Seattle had a bad fourth quarter against Arizona, so a lot of people are selling Seattle stock, and it's like, no, Seattle's back home. They're probably going to be. There's a lot of stuff where you see we're overvaluing certain teams in the league. I think we're a little overvaluing Cleveland this morning, and I picked them as a playoff team. And I think we're undervaluing a little Seattle because of that bad fourth quarter. They were actually controlling Arizona for 3.5 hours. Joy with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News, sponsored by Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing.
It's two at a time.
Oh, so exciting.
Very exciting. The Dolphins will get their first real look at Tua this weekend when he gets his first start. Ryan Fitzpatrick did not hide his disappointments when he got benched for the rookie, but Brian Flores believes the culture of the team is built to handle the change.
I think the guys, they rally around each other. I think they support one another. It's a team effort. So again, it won't be just Tua, but, he's going to have to do his part as far as, communication, getting us lined up, making good decisions. We're asking of him, or we would ask anyone.
The Dolphins are trending in the right direction, and they've kind of always been, well, at least for the last 10 years or so, this kind of like middle-of-the-road team. No one really trusts them. Like, they're not bad, but they're not good.
That's exactly what they are. We don't trust them, but they always have good players.
Right. Well, I wanted to take a look at what I've already lived through, but just to put it in perspective of what the Dolphins have gone through at the quarterback position, it's pretty dramatic. They've had 21 different starting quarterbacks start at least one game since 2000. The most starts in that span was Ryan Tannehill with 88. It's 21 since the year 2000. Marino went 147-93 in 17 seasons with the Dolphins, went 8-10 in the playoffs. He made the playoffs in 10 of his 17 seasons. The Dolphins are 152-174 since he left, and in 1-4 in the playoffs. They have not had a franchise quarterback since Dan Marino left the Dolphins.
That's why they are putting so much stock into Tua.
As they should.
Absolutely. It's
what
not
Joe
about
Platt just said is 100% correct.
It's not about winning this weekend. And by the way, I think they're only a 4-point dog. This is actually a perfect spot because the Rams, off a hugely impressive Monday night performance, have to fly 3,000 miles to the Dolphins off a bye. This may be another Blazing Five pick.
Interesting. I completely agree with Joel. I did not think it was a shocking time to move off of Fitzpatrick. I was actually waiting to find out when they were going to.
You and I were guessing.
It all falls apart.
We kept waiting. We kept guessing what week it was going to happen.
Right.
I was like week 9, and then the NFL moved the bye up. So the league kind of forced Miami's hand. They were going to do it. at the bye week. Clearly, they just moved the bye week up.
Why not give him an extra week to prepare?
With the number ones.
We always knew that they were going to move off of Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick said he knew until the move was actually made,
Right.
and then he's saying he's surprised. Getting to the playoffs or winning a meaningless playoff game is not going to help the development of the Dolphins unless Tua is the quarterback. Everything Joel just said is correct. Winning organizations, I, having had the privilege of being born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and watching the Steelers my entire life, know what a winning organization does.
Yeah.
The standard is the Super Bowl, not making the playoffs. That's not what winning organizations do. That's not success. If you're building, then yes, that's a successful season. Like if they were to make it this year with Tua. Getting to the playoffs with Fitzpatrick does nothing for the development of the Dolphins. It's mediocrity, and I'm not interested in it. Tom Brady's decision to leave New England for Tampa Bay has been working out very well for him. He is clearly winning that divorce right now. And Peter King thinks he should have seen the move coming after Brady's last game with the Patriots. He spoke with Brady right after the loss and says, looking back, he sees that Brady's demeanor wasn't just because of the game's outcome.
Tom Brady was, I would call him despondent that day. One thing that I can't help but thinking is that he knew for a quarterback, New England was hopeless. You tell me if there is one offensive player on that team that causes a defensive coordinator to game plan against him. There is not one.
Cam.
Yeah, I mean, Peter said it on our show the other day. There's no weapon on the offensive side of the ball
And
for the
Brady
Patriots
knew it.
Right, and Cam was not there, obviously, because Brady was the quarterback. So the only player when Brady was there that the defensive coordinator would plan for was Brady. And in this case, it's Cam. There's no offensive weapons that make defensive coordinators nervous, and Brady knew that. So him leaving makes perfect sense. Why do you want to end your career in that situation? Why, when your input is given, is it not taken, and you're Tom Brady? This was like a fork in the road that we all saw coming,
Yes.
right? I'm not married to romance, right?
Oh, God, me neither.
Like, if things end that way, wonderful. I mean, who doesn't love a good love story? It's fantastic. Happy ending, it's great. But then there's like reality where, you don't like each other all the time. And sometimes you like spend some time apart and then you come back together and then like you work some things out and you make some exceptions or you just decide to work it out, right? Or you just divorce. And that's fine too, because at the end of the day, you guys both have journeys you have to go through in life. And that's really what happened with the Patriots and Tom Brady. Like, yes, would have been romantic for him to end his career there as the greatest player of all time. Sure. But it's also a spin-off story that he went to Tampa Bay and could very well win a Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
All stories are available. Zach Ertz's contract with the Eagles is up after the 2021 season, and there has not been much progress on an extension, but there is some interest from other teams.
Oh, Packers.
The Eagles reportedly got calls from the Packers and the Ravens.
He'd be a great fit for Green Bay.
About the tight end, yes. Offers were made, but Ertz hurt his ankle and had to be placed on injured reserve instead.
I don't think Philadelphia should. But my question is, Philadelphia, I still think is going to win that division. So I'm not sure if I'd do that.
Well, the trade deadline is Tuesday, November 3rd. Big day, November 3rd, huh? 4 p.m. Eastern.
Oh,
Ertz
my
is in his...
Lord.
It's going to be an active
Well, there may be a
Tuesday.
trade in the White House, too, so who knows?
Well, Ertz is in his 8th season and turns 30 in November. He has 24 receptions, 178 yards, and 1 touchdown. Dallas Goedert's rookie deal is also up after the 2021 season. He's only played in 3 games.
Okay, so
Philadelphia's
saying
also hurt his ankle.
Philadelphia's saying we can't pay for both. Let's move one.
Yes, and it's time for Ertz to get paid. So, yes, this would have been a trade you'd make before, obviously, he got injured, but it may still be available depending on how long the injury is.
Let's be honest about New England. After Aaron Rodgers and a couple of their linebackers, Green Bay's not paying anybody. They're not paying Aaron Jones big money yet, are they? They're not paying Devontae Adams big money yet. You can afford to pay Zach Ertz. I mean, they're not. Again, it's not like Seattle where you're going to pay Jamal and Bobby Wagner. Now you're paying Dunlap. You're paying. Who's Green Bay paying? Aaron Rodgers deserves the money, and the linebackers both came over, made good money, not outrageous money in the free agency a year ago. Like, go pay Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz deserves to be paid, and he can still produce at a high level, obviously, when he is healthy. So
he's a volume tight end. Aaron needs another weapon.
He's made it clear he wants to stay in Philadelphia, but again, like this is clearly not how it's going to work out. You're not going to have both. If you have Dallas Goedert and he comes back healthy, like they're going to stick with the younger guy.
Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
Why, if I'm Trevor Lawrence, I consider stalling and not going to the Jets, and why you don't need New York anymore in the NFL. That's coming up next. When's the last time you were driving through an October or a November storm and it's starting to snow in some places and thought, boy, I'm glad I've got lousy wipers and can't see? You never think that. That's where Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades come in handy. 16,000-mile drive, Alaska to Argentina. Rainier Zietlow did it, the man behind the wheel. Snow, rain, thunder, wind, desert, tundra, all that stuff. It was fine because Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades have an advanced QuadTech 4-layer coated silicone that repels that bad weather. Water, ice, snow, rain, all of it. Available only at Walmart. They last 2 times longer than other blades. The bad weather is about 10 to 14 days away in most of the country. It's already hit some of the country. The mountain regions, the northern parts of America. Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades.